MCQ. So I am again going to share the presentation, and please do tell me if you are able to see my presentation, and I will request Sachin sir to please tell that the presentation is visible. Is it so, sir? Yes,
Now
I
it is
think it's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, according to World Health Organization, what is gender? What exactly is the meaning of the word gender? We want to know. So, in case of gender, gender refers to the behaviors or activities or attributes that the society gives for boys and girls and for men and women. So, uh, gender is different from the biological traits. So, what is the meaning of gender characteristics? What are gender traits? For example, in some societies, women are expected to take care of family. It is if it is expected that women take up the household chores, women remain close to home, that is because of a gender. Or if it is expected that all men should work and all men should earn money for the family, then it is a gender. So gender means what the society thinks, what the society expects, what is the behavior, what is the activity, what is the attribute that society expects and tells for men and women, that becomes the uh, gender attribute. So please remember what is gender, and then we have a different terminology which is called as male and female characteristics. That is, men and women or boys and girls, they follow different growth pattern according to their biological traits. For example, men, they develop a hoarse voice, or men develop hair on the face, or they have a muscular framework of body. Women can give birth to babies, whereas men cannot. So please understand that these are the biological characteristics. So understand that uh, women and men, we consider them in terms of gender. Gender is what role the society has given. Whether society has given a particular role of cooking or earning or any other characteristic given by society comes under gender. Whereas when we talk of uh, different biological traits, women can give birth to babies, men cannot, men develop hoarse voice, all that is due to the biological characteristics. So, male and female are biological categories, masculine and feminine are gender categories. So you see a lot of pictures over here, and you see many pictures, and you can see lot of work that is going on. Now, what is the mindset of the society? That is called gender. You can see in some of the pictures, it is the girl who is doing the work. In some of the pictures, it is the boy who is doing the work. So, whatever attribute is given by the society, that becomes gender. But whatever is given by the biology, that becomes the biological traits. So, understand that gender roles are defined community, gender roles are defined by the society, and these are the various behaviors and attributes. So there are three types of societies. There are three classifications, which is called as patriarchy or matriarchy or oligarchy. So patriarchy is where the male member is the head. So there are societies in which male member is the head, and that is called as patriarchy. Societies in which the female member is the head or considered as the head. That is called as matriarchy. And oligarchy means a group of people together. They are head, whether male or female. So understand that patriarchy, matriarchy, and oligarchy are different terms which are followed in the society. In patriarchy, it is the male member who is the head. Matriarchy, female member is the head. And oligarchy, a group of people who are heading the community or group of people. So we come across terms like equality and equity. So what is equality and what is equity is very important for us to understand. So when we talk of equality, equality means we give equal treatment to boys and girls. We give equal treatment to men and women, whether it is laws, policies, we treat them equally. If we have to give a driving license, we give the driving license to the boy and the girl in an equal manner, irrespective of any discrimination. If we have to give a job, then we give that job to a man or a woman and we treat them equally. Now, what is the meaning of gender equity? It is very important. So, gender equity means fairness and justice in the distribution of benefits. So, at times, what happens is that in societies, female or lady or men, they may get lesser opportunity. So when we want to give the opportunity to that person who is already getting a lesser opportunity, then we talk in terms of gender equity. So when we give fairness or justice to uh, men and women in terms of fair and just distribution of benefits and responsibilities between men and women, then it is called as gender equity. So we are just moving to the presentation again, and we are just stopping the presentation, and I'm going to share a video with you. So let us see if you can see my video. Just 1 second. So I'm just going to share my web browser with you. 1 second. Yes, so we are talking about uh, gender equality and gender equity, where we talk of equity means fairness and equality or justice in distribution of benefits and responsibilities between men and women or between boys and girls. So I'm just going to share a video with you. Please see the video. Are you able to see my YouTube screen? I hope you can see my YouTube screen. Yes, and I'm going to share the video with you.
Ma'am, it is showing black screen and mouse cursor.
Okay, it's not. Is video visible, sir?
No, ma'am, it is showing a black blank screen and mouse cursor.
Okay, sir, I will just share again. I will just share again. 1 second. I will just share again. 1 second. Sir, now you can see the uh, YouTube screen. Sir, can you see the YouTube screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. I'm playing the video.
Ma'am, video is available, but audio is not coming.
Okay. But audio is not coming. Okay, 1 second. I will just. Uh,
Ma'am, audio is not there.
sir, now.
No, ma'am. Screen is
Okay, sir.
visible.
Then I will. I'll just stop the video and I will just take to the presentation. Okay. I'll just
Oh,
stop the video. Okay, sir, I'll take the presentation. No problem. I'll just try the after some time. This no problem at all. So we will move to the topic of gender equity and equality, and we will move to the presentation later. So let us just start move to the presentation now, and I hope you will be able to see my presentation. So just 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Yes, sir. Are you able to see the presentation?
ma'am.
Okay, sir. So we are moving to gender equality and gender equity, where gender equality is the equal treatment for women and men, for boys and girls in laws and policies, and giving equal access. Whereas equity means we are giving fairness and justice in distribution. So at times the justice is needed because there is no equal distribution of rights and benefits between men and women. So wherever there is lesser benefit, we try to give more benefit, and that becomes gender equity. So when we talk of gender equity means we need the support of boys and girls or men and women to achieve gender equality and gender equity. Now, I'm sure in your schools you are talking about sustainable development goals, and there are 17 sustainable development goals, and I'm sure schools are teaching and talking and integrating sustainable development goals in their school. So, dear participants, SDG 5 or Sustainable Development Goal 5 focuses on gender equality. So, what is the meaning of SDG 5 and how it focuses on gender equality? The goal of SDG 5 is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls, because mostly it is seen that in the societies that girls or women are getting lesser opportunities. So as to bring equity in the society, it is important that we end discrimination against women and girls, eliminate all violence that happens against girls or women, eliminate all harmful practices such as child marriage, and we are taking up these steps in our societies so that we get equity in our society. So uh, 5.4 recognizes and value unpaid care and domestic work, because most of the ladies are able to take up domestic work. However, they may not get any type of paid remuneration for that. SDG 5 also ensures participation of women in leadership, in decision making, which is very, very important. And of course, it focuses on universal access to reproductive health and rights. So it is important that whatever reforms they are taking place in the society, we should be able to give equal rights to women and to men, economic resources, and any type of facilities that we extend to one person should be extended to other person. If we are giving any rights to men or boys, we have to give equal rights to women and girls, and we should strengthen policies and legislation for this. So we talk of terms like gender relations and gender roles. So what is the meaning of the term gender relations? We should understand, because we are talking of these terms, we are using these terms. So relationship between women and men acquired through the process of socialization in terms of power sharing, decision making, that is the gender relations. But what are gender roles? Those roles and duties which the society considers appropriate for boys and girls. So when we talk of gender relations, it is the relationship between women and men which is acquired through the process of socialization, power sharing. Who gets the power? Whether it is the male or the female, like we talked of matriarchy, patriarchy. Similarly, when we talk of decision making, who gets the power of decision? When we talk of division of labor, how are we dividing the work in household, in society? That comes under gender relations. And when we talk of gender roles, then
Ma'am,
it
I
is.
think you are not audible.
Is it, sir? Please ask the participants. Participants, am I audible? Please write in the chat box. Yes, it is audible, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you so much, participants. Thanks a lot. Thanks. So, gender roles means the activities and duties which we see suitable for boys or girls. Please remember that in one society, a particular uh, duty, a particular responsibility may be considered more appropriate for boys, and another duty or responsibility may be considered more appropriate for girls. So, just like being the driver of a taxi car, in certain societies, it is possible that driving or being driver of a car, it may be given most appropriate for men, whereas in other societies driving may be considered most appropriate for women. Or we can say cooking work, or working in the hotels for cooking. So if we are talking of hospitality or cooking, certain societies may consider it appropriate for boys, other societies may consider appropriate for girls. So let us move to the next slide now. One second. Just yes. So these type of terminologies we need to understand and we need to remember when we talk of gender roles in the society. So let me just try and share the video once, and let me see if the video is now audible to you. Just see the video. Participants, please tell yes or no if the video is audible to you. I think it's not. Some are able to hear.
Not audible, ma'am.
Okay, I will not share the video today. No problem. We will go to the presentation, sir. No problem at all. And we will move to the presentation. No problem. No problem. We are just moving to the presentation. So we will skip the video today. So, sir, similarly, there are terms like social construction, gender mainstreaming, and we talk of these terms in the society. So what is social construction? Social construction is a process through which a given community assigns, institutionalizes, or legitimizes gender roles. So when we give a particular gender role, it is called as social construction. Another terminology is gender mainstreaming. This means consistent integration of gender concerns into the development and implementation of policies. So what policies we are making, how we are sharing in our society, that is called as the gender mainstreaming. But most important is what type of schools we have. When we talk of these terminologies, we want to know that is our school a gender sensitive school? Are we able to follow the gender sensitivity in our school is what we want to know and what we want to remember. So in a gender sensitive school, girls and boys, they are empowered to participate equally and freely within and outside the school. So whether we have a school program, we have a school function, it is important that uh, we that we are giving equal opportunity to boys and girls in the school. The school community has a good level of awareness towards gender issues. That means if there are any problems that are arising in the school, we are able to solve the problem equally between boys and girls. The school and the teachers, they follow gender equality principles in academic process. So subject like maths, boys and girls take up subjects like maths and science equally. And if the schools offer home science, then boys and girls are equally allowed and empowered to take subjects like home science. Girls and boys equally participate in indoor activities or outdoor activities. That means if we have outdoor games like football or cricket, it is not that only boys play outdoor games. Girls should also be allowed to play and take part in outdoor games, indoor games. Even boys and girls, they should be equally participating in the indoor games. The school environment should encourage equal contribution and equal participation in all school activities. Gender sensitive schools have separate washrooms for boys and girls and make them hygienic and available. Guidance and counseling is available for boys and girls. And most importantly, educators, they are, trained to follow the gender sensitive methodologies. So, moving on to the next slide, while taking up activities in work education. So, you are taking up work education in school, or you are taking up socially useful productive work SUPW classes. Please plan activities such that boys and girls get equal opportunity to participate in the activities. Please ensure that boys and girls they are participating equally in all the activities. So whether it is school function, whether it is participating in dance or drama or music or any physical exercises, boys and girls should be able to participate equally. So there should be mutual cooperation between boys and girls. So what happens is that sometimes we need to take up cleaning of the classroom. So when we are taking up cleaning of the classroom, are we asking the girls to clean the classroom? If we are asking the girls to clean the classroom, then it is not correct. And we should ask students to keep the classroom clean. So we should not give gender specific roles. Roles like cleanliness of the classroom is the joint responsibility of boys and girls. Or if we have a class of work education where we are teaching cooking, so when we are teaching cooking, we need to teach cooking to both boys and girls in the same manner. If we want to encourage children to go and play games outside, then we should not say boys go and play games outside, girls sit inside and listen to the music. We should allow boys and girls to equally participate in games, in cleanliness activities. So sometimes it is seen that when we want to have some drawing or painting work in the school, if we are asking only the girls to take up the drawing and painting work, it's not correct. Boys and girls, they are equally, uh, you know, uh, equally important for both boys and girls to take up such type of work. Sir, once more I am trying the video. Sachin sir, please tell if it is audible because I really want participants to see. Not audible. Maybe today some problem is there.
Not audible, ma'am.
Okay, sir, I'll leave it. I don't know why it is not audible today because mostly you know I'm showing the video. Anyway, we will move to the presentation, sir. No problem. So, we have to remember that we are using terminologies where boys and girls are treated equally. So, sometimes when we need to send children to the library, we will say girls go to the library first. So we should not use such type of terminology. We should say roll number 1 to 10 move to the library first. So anywhere knowingly or unknowingly we may be allowing children to be getting some gender bias, which is not correct. So, unknowingly, if we are using textbooks which are giving example of girls doing the washing, girls looking after the children, and boys going for driving or boys going for games, then that type of discrimination should be avoided. So we should not always give examples of girls doing household work, of boys doing the work which is meant to earn, and we should allow equality among boys and girls. There are two more terms which is gender gap and gender discrimination. So any sign of inequality in the society, in the school, or in the family that disadvantages one gender as compared to the other. Sometimes the girls may be getting more opportunity. So we have to see that boys and girls they are given equal opportunity. Another terminology is gender discrimination, any distinction, exclusion, or restriction made on the basis of socially constructed gender roles and norms, which prevents a person from enjoying full human rights. So, there are lots of terms about which we talk in gender. What is important is that when we assign roles in the class, instead of assigning role to a boy, we should assign role to a student instead of assigning to a boy or a girl. So if we have a head boy in the school, then we should also have a post of head girl. If we have school captain, it should not happen that the school captain is only the boy. School captain can be school a boy or a girl, and the best is have two roles, one for head boy, one for head girl. Similarly, if you have monitors in the class, then have a boy monitor and have a girl monitor in the class. So let us see what type of generic uses we may be making in the class which we should avoid. For example, if we say the student should complete the work assigned to him, but he should not make his test papers into airplanes. Now, see, we are using the word he and him, especially for boys, to make the papers into airplanes. So, instead of saying this, we should say the student should complete the assignment but should not make test papers into airplanes. Don't associate a particular work with a particular gender, because all these thinking they start from the school. So sometimes a teacher may say, if a student comes late to the class, he interrupts the lecture or discussion. Why we should always use the term he? We should make this term such that we are not using he or she and we are talking in terms of student. So we can say whoever comes late to the class interrupts the lecture or discussion. So what I want to say is that if we are using terminologies where we focus on a particular gender, if we talk of making paper into airplanes and we only talk of boys, then it is wrong and we should talk in terms of student. Another example, if a student misses two successive appointments, he will lose his standing appointment. So again we are using the term he. Instead of using the term he, you can use the term you or student. For example, if you miss two successive appointments, you will use your standing appointment. So what I want to say is specifying roles in the class, it's not correct. Sometimes people may be in the habit of saying, don't cry like girls. This is a wrong statement. Making a statement which denigrates a particular gender is wrong. But if we say be strong like a boy, even it's not right, because girls can also be strong and boys can also be strong. So we have to be very mindful of our language in the class. Another example, when a student encounters an emergency situation, he should notify the school reception. So instead of saying he, we should try to say upon knowing about an emergency, a student should immediately notify the school reception. So always giving different roles to boys and girls is improper. The best is to give roles to student and not to think about boy or girl when we are talking. So if we want to give the work like picking up desk, we always say boys pick up the desk girls clean the class. That's not right. We should say some students can use of such terms where we talk of students and we don't talk of boys and girls and don't bring about any discrimination in the class. Sachin sir, I'm trying to share another video. Please guide me again if there is any other problem. Any other. Are you able to hear and see?
We are able to see the video but not to hear.
I don't know, sir. Today there is some problem. Not able to hear, sir.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, is it audible?
No, ma'am.
No, sir. Today there is some problem. But some are able to hear.
No, ma'am.
Maybe today there is some problem. Anyway, we will move ahead with the presentation, and I hope you can see the presentation. So, so many times there are programs in the school, and in school programs, we may be assigning some specific role to a boy or some specific role to a girl. Please think, when visitors come to the school, who does the following tasks between female and male educators or between girl and boy students? So, when we have to receive visitors, then if we are receiving visitors, are we asking the boys to receive the visitors, or are we always asking the girls to receive the visitors? We have to be mindful of that. We have to allow students to receive and not make a distinction between boys and girls. Similarly, hospitality and serving. So, when if in the school there is any work of hospitality and serving, so are we asking the girls to take up hospitality and serving work? Sachin sir, am I audible? Hello? Yes. Okay. Thank you, participants. Thank you. Thank you. So, when we are giving up the responsibility of hospitality and serving, are we always asking the girls to take up hospitality and serving? If we are doing that, then it is not correct, and we have to allow both boys and girls to take up the work of hospitality and serving. If there is a work of giving gifts to the visitor, then we should not think that who will give the visitor. Should it be a boy or a girl? Everyone should be allowed to give the gifts. What we mean to say is we have to give equal opportunities to boys and girls. So if we have to give a brief introduction about the school, it can be a boy or it can be a girl who is giving the brief introduction about the school. Any other activity or situation, we have to think that gender equality, giving equal rights, giving equal responsibilities, that will help school become a gender sensitive school, because then we are giving equal opportunities to boys and girls in all our spheres. Educators, please keep the following in mind. Avoid use of gendered language. What is the meaning of avoid use of gendered language? Denigrating either gender. As I told you, sometimes we are in the habit of using terminology like don't cry like girls. It is wrong to say like this. It is wrong to say that we are using terminology like this, or be strong like boys. We should not be using such terminology. We should be just saying don't cry or be strong to give equal respect, equal dignity to both the genders. We should use language in the school as a means to develop a sense of mutual respect and dignity. There should be cooperation in the school, there should be sharing and responsibility. So, we should be able to share the responsibilities equally between boys and girls. Encourage activities and create situations for girls and boys to express themselves freely. So whenever boys and girls they want to uh, express their feelings, they should be able to express their feelings freely with self confidence and with mutual trust. So this will bring lot of equality in the school and will give equal opportunities to both the genders. So let us talk of gender sensitive classrooms. Classrooms where we give equal opportunities to boys and girls. So dear educators, please appoint two monitors in each classroom, a boy and a girl. So do appoint two monitors and give them equal responsibilities in the class. So I'm sure you are taking up such activities in the class where you are giving equal opportunity. So for example, if there is any art and craft work, if there is any work which involves cleaning, if there is any work which involves uh, setting up the tables, you give equal responsibility to boys and girls. Encourage both boys and girls to read aloud, recite, and speak on topics related to their immediate lives. So, encourage boys and girls to participate equally. Make special effort to direct questions at girls or boys and shy children. So, whoever are the shy children in class, please allow the shy children to participate in activities. Try to switch roles or breaking down gender barriers. So, if there are any gender barriers, please switch such type of roles. Relieve the girls of activities that are related to domestic chores. So, there are times when we associate girls with the household work, when we associate girls with domestic chores. So, don't always give such type of work to the girls. Avoid offensive remarks which denigrate either gender. Prepare girls and boys for leadership position. Have head boy, head girl, rather than just having a head boy only. So please have head boy or head girl and give them equal responsibility. Plan and conduct activities such that you give equal opportunity. So in the annual days, if there is a dance activity, then if there is a dance activity, are we allowing only the girls for the dance activity? Then it's not correct. We should not allow the boys also to participate in the dance activity. If we have outdoor games like football or cricket, then we should allow boys and girls to equally participate in outdoor games like football and cricket. So please remember, in India, there are several agencies that are looking after the equal uh, distribution of all opportunities between boys and girls, rather we should say between children. And we have Ministry of Women and Child Development, which looks after the opportunities given to children in terms of children getting equal opportunities. We have NCPCR, which stands for National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. We have DCPCR, which stands for Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights. This is only for the state Delhi, but states also have SCPCR, which is the State Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Then we have NIPSED or NIPCCD, which is the National Institute for Public Cooperation and Child Development. And these organizations, they are able to look after the welfare of children, whether it is boys or girls. Now, so many times we are using some specific gender titles. We are in the habit of saying businessman, or we can say businesswoman, but the best is to say business person. Business person is a gender neutral title and it can be used for both boys and girls. Similarly, we are in the habit of saying chairman or chairwoman. So instead of saying chairman or chairwoman, we should say chairperson, because chairperson can be used for boys and girls both. Similarly, we may be using postman or postwoman. So instead of this, we can use postal worker. So do remember to use terms where we give equal opportunities and we use gender neutral titles. Just like we have terms policeman and policewoman. So instead of saying policeman and policewoman, we can use the term police officer. So we can use the term like police officer, which is a gender neutral title instead of policeman or policewoman. We can talk of salesperson instead of saying salesman or saleswoman. We can talk of steward or stewardess, but it is better to talk of flight attendant, and we use the term flight attendant instead of saying steward or stewardess. Instead of saying a fireman or firewoman, we can use the term firefighter. So use of these type of terminologies, they help the children develop equal respect for boys and girls, equal respect for everyone. So please use terms like business person, chairperson, postal worker, police officer, salesperson, flight attendant, firefighter, because these types of terminologies, they give equal importance. Dear participants, gender sensitive pedagogy. On this, CBSE has developed a manual, which is the Educator's Manual on Gender Sensitive Pedagogy, and this manual is available on the CBSE site. So you can go to CBSE site and you can ask for, you can just type Educator's Manual on Gender Sensitive Pedagogy